Looking ahead to the week ahead, Brad, what can we expect out of the markets next week? What is your, you mentioned your prediction from last week and how it rolled out, but how has that changed?
The asterisk is always there, which is it's crypto, so anything can happen. But just looking at some of the technical levels, if we're now around 50,600. People are saying if we go below 50,000 and stay below 50,000, we could be looking at a pretty big sell-off, maybe down to around the $47,000 zone. Or if we go below that and people really start to freak out, that could take us down to 43,000. And one analyst was even talking about 29,000 going back to the 2020 high. But, lately we've seen buyers at least around the $50,000 level. So it'll be interesting if that ceases to be the case. If we trade up, analysts saying we could trade back up to 53,000. But it's a very volatile market, and there's a lot that's been moving it lately.
Christy, one of the reasons we saw the pullback, and we touched a bit about this in the last segment, was miners in China. They had those accidents, those power outages, and you gave that great analogy of, people trying to go up a hill and losing some of their partners. And we saw the hash rate go down in the Bitcoin network. So is there any sign that is getting back online right now? What is the situation there?
Well, we're getting a few reports trickling in of miners actually going back online. What we're waiting for is for the Chinese authorities to clear the coal mines, the mines that had the accidents, and allow them to resume production and be able to supply power to our Bitcoin miners. And some of them are, in fact, coming back. According to Thomas Heller of Compass Mining yesterday, he tweeted that mining farms in Xinjiang are gradually turning power and machines back on, and it's already started. So we'll have to see where the overall network hash rate lands. And we're probably looking at about a 5% change in difficulty over the next 2 weeks or so, next week or so. Yeah.
And Galen, how are large investors responding to this Bitcoin market right now?
Yeah, I think that's the thing to watch, Christine, is sort of where are we in terms of retail or institutional activity driving the momentum. I think we've seen some evidence that the institutional kind of rising of the tide that we saw in the first quarter had cooled, and that retail investors had kind of taken over. So, at this point, with Bitcoin down at the bottom of the range it's been trading in for the past month or so, you kind of feel like it's a fragile place. As Brad was saying, if we might drop far and fast in terms of the Bitcoin price. So I think in terms of understanding how to respond to something like that, it's important to know what might be driving it. A couple of things that I look at is, first of all, net positions of CME Bitcoin futures. We'll see that from the CFTC on Tuesday. That comes out weekly on Tuesdays. And then, generally open interest in that market as well is a good indicator of institutional interest in crypto. Not the only indicator, but one of many. And then the other piece I think would be the kind of whales on the Bitcoin blockchain. And we've seen that after dropping, through March and into April, we've seen that kind of level off, that number of whales. First Mover Newsletter had a chart on it this morning. And, I think looking at a move up or down in either direction in that might kind of give you some signals. It's not necessarily going to be the leading indicator that's going to help you predict the next market jump, but it might give a sense of how to play the situation if things do start to move in either direction.
All right, excellent. We'll definitely be keeping track of those developments on CoinDesk. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us this weekend. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Thanks a lot, Christine.